we've got the outright winners here. Osaka being well, there's sort of like three really, but sort of one of the favourites. With Kvitova being the first favourite here. You're Ardeal, you're still holding on to a ticket, Osaka to win it all.
Yes.
Obviously you've got the ticket beforehand. Do you still think that she can do it? What would you advise our viewers at
Yes.
this point in time?
It's funny, but I think Osaka will win this match, and I will hedge her in the final. I also have one prediction for this match. I think Osaka will win at 185.
Okay.
So I'm doubling my futures bet here. I think that this match against Serena Williams will be a hard weight on the shoulders of Pliskova. She is insanely good this year. As I talked last podcast, I said that she has a good chance to defeat Serena, but I think that the pressure is now bigger because she defeated the greatest female player of all time, and yeah, maybe after Steffi Graf.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think that this will be a lot of pressure, and the fact that she's playing, she played the last match on the women's side. Osaka had much more time to recover. She had an easier match against Svitolina. I thought Svitolina will win this match against Osaka, but Osaka played insanely good, and everything on the baseline. She was riding the baseline. She didn't give any chances to Svitolina. So I think that here in the power match, power showdown of these two girls, it will be very, very interesting to see. But in the end, I think that Osaka played this kind of players, and she defeated them in this matchups. She defeated also Serena Williams, a similar player to Pliskova, in the final rounds of US Open, and Pliskova had never reached the final so far, and I think that will be a lot of pressure on her shoulders. So one of my tips for these semifinals is Osaka to win.
Is okay, Osaka to win. And on the money line there, do you agree with that World Cup? 1.8, not bad there for an outright price. Often the tennis, the outright prices are rather low on the favorite there, but 1.8 could be tempting.
I'm going head to head with Ardeal here. I'm looking for Pliskova to get the win at 2.22 plus 122. A couple of points that I'll bring up here. Osaka's form in this tournament has not looked anywhere close to how she looked at the U.S. Open. Her form in the U.S. Open was superlative. She has kind of skated by, not really put together a complete match. I feel like if you're backing Osaka in this spot, if you're backing her in this match, you are basically saying she has the pedigree, she has the chops, she's going to step up and show us what she had at the U.S. Open, kind of out of thin air. I don't think that if she comes with the game that she had yesterday against Svitolina, she is going to get blown off this court. She has to significantly step up her game in just 24 hours because Pliskova is playing outstanding tennis. She has been for the entirety of 29 to this point, coming off of a title in Brisbane, 10-game winning streak going right now for her. And she was serving absolute missiles yesterday in that first set. If Pliskova's first serves are landing in, Osaka does not have the chops in the return game, in my opinion, to make competitive rallies and to take advantage of Pliskova's limitations in terms of movement. So this kind of boils down to me of, okay, if Pliskova's first serves are landing in, if the pressure is off now that she's kind of slayed Serena in spectacular fashion, if that has lifted any of the pressure from her, I feel like first serves landing in the way she was serving yesterday, she is going to be unbreakable. And I would expect not a competitive match if we see these exact same two players that played yesterday show up and play today. So I really think that if you're looking for an Osaka win here, you're counting on her to have another gear, another level that we just haven't seen to this point in the tournament. Because I got to tell you, that Osaka-Svitolina match yesterday was ugly. It was poor tennis from both players. I know that the scoreline suggests Svitolina. I mean, that Osaka was outstanding. But if you watch some of those points and watch how kind of, every kind of clutch moment she had to put those things away, she was a little bit shaky. She made some gross unforced errors at the end of that first set. She should have put her away much easier than 6-4. And Svitolina was not fit yesterday. She did not have it. Osaka should have dispatched her more easily even than she did. And Pliskova, on the other hand, with her strength and power, and especially in the service game, I think is going to make this a very, very tough contest for Osaka.
Here we go. We've heard Wales' side of the argument there, going head-to-head once again with Ardeal. Do you have anything to say before we move on there with Wales' argument?
Yeah, we had our clashes like Sharapova and Wozniacki, like Tsitsipas and Bautista. So I think this is the round 3.
Yeah, that's right. And I gotta say, most of the time we've gone head to head to this point, it's been a very, very, very narrow margin, and it's been kind of luck one way or the other that's kind of determined the winner. So if that's the way this plays out, if Osaka shows up with the confidence of a former Grand Slam champion and gives Pliskova the business, I won't be totally surprised. All I can tell you is that what I saw from both players yesterday, if they show up and show us the same form, this is a Pliskova win, and she should be priced more favorably than right now as plus 122.
All right. Well, going head to head.
I saw Pliskova lose her head, like with Serena, like with the other sets she lost. So I think each can win easily a set, and after that, a third set is something we are looking for. But yep. I won't bet the overs because the last matches they played were non-overs, or one that was retirement. So I won't bet the overs, but I think it would be here. But anyway, I think Osaka will win. Let's see tomorrow.
Let's see tomorrow. Exactly. Someone is going to win on this one. How exciting. I like this.
Someone's going to be right.
Yeah, exactly. Someone is going to be right. All right. The other match as well, Kvitova Collins. Kvitova obviously huge favourites on there, 1.25. Kappa, do you have any plays for that match?
Yeah, I'm going to stay away from this one because I'm holding a Kvitova future at 20-1 that I'm going to wait until the finals to hedge out of. I say hedge out of. I just need to take a good piece of the opponent in the final if Kvitova pulls off the victory, which I think she should. If you look back, they've played one time before, and it was right before New Year's, and it was in Sydney. And it was a very competitive match. And actually, looking back, I saw that. I didn't watch the match live. I saw the score, and I thought to myself, oh, man, maybe Kvitova's not in as good a form as I thought she would be because Collins took her to the wire. Lo and behold, it was the exact opposite. Collins is much, much better form than I have ever given her credit for, especially this particular run that she's been on Australian Open has been incredible. Coming back to beat Pavlyuchenkova it was inspired tennis from her. And, Pavlyuchenkova is not like the most mentally sturdy, tennis player. So the fact that she kind of melted down after, things weren't going her way and that late in that second set wasn't totally surprising, but huge credit to Danielle Collins for her kind of ability to kind of, be the aggressor and kind of set the tone of the match when it was, when push came to shove, she won impressively. I think that she can give Kvitova, a good contest here. I wouldn't be surprised to see this go 3 sets. But if this goes 3 sets, Kvitova is not Pavlyuchenkova. Kvitova is the master of pulling off a 3-set win, and she has the fortitude and the gumption and the she's got the goods when it comes down to that push comes to shove 3rd set decider. And even if she's down a break even in the 3rd set, I would still expect Kvitova to be able to pull this thing out. Danielle Rose Collins' game is not diverse enough to challenge Kvitova's weaknesses, in my opinion. And I think if Kvitova can kind of keep her cool, then she should win this one pretty comfortably.
Okay, all right. So that's Wales' take on the match. Ardeal, do you have an official play?
Yeah, I have 2 plays here, but both are half stakes. The one is the overs 90.5. And the other is Collins to cover 5 games handicap, 5.0. I think that the last match they played together is very, very interesting. Is, as you said before, New Year's Eve and in Sydney. But I saw the match and it was really a really good match. Both of them attacking, both of them holding serve rather easily. There were a couple of breaks in each set, so nothing WTA specific. I think it will be the same thing here. Collins showed, despite losing the first set to Pavlyuchenkova, showed that she is still in the match. She didn't lose her temper. She had the right tactics. Her coach is amazing tactician. She showed that in all her matches, and I think this is a bonus for her because they played together this year and they both know what to expect. The I think it will be a close encounter. Don't know if it will be 3 sets, but I think Collins will have a saying in this. But if it goes 3, I think Kvitova has the upper hand, despite being down, as you said, a break or something like that, because she has a huge experience. Collins might choke a little bit, even if she wins a set and then a break up, she might choke because she never was in this position before. And despite graduating in the USTA with huge numbers, I think that is not the same thing as being in a semi-final of a Grand Slam. And these are my plays, Collins +5 and over 19.5. This is like a covering because she might lose at more than 5 games, even in 3 sets, if she gets the first set in a tiebreak or something like that. I just want to ensure my picks.
All right. Make some compelling arguments there. Well, Capranosid, you do not have an official play. Do either of those take your fancy? Or again, head-to-head?
No, I agree. I think he's got a strong point of view on this, and I tend to agree. I would be more surprised if this were a 6-2, 6-3 type of, one-sided affair than I would be if this goes deep into 3 sets. And, a lot of this is just, Collins has seen her game very recently and gave her everything she could handle. That more than anything else should give her the confidence she needs playing at the highest level that she's gotten to in her career. And, for the sake of the tennis watching public, I would love a good match. They're both fun players to watch and pull for, and it should be, the emotions, should capture you. If you're just sort of kind of a tennis fan, you'll presumably enjoy this match if it's competitive. So I like those looks, and I wouldn't steer anyone away from that. I think that's a good way to approach the match.
Sometimes they do agree. Okay. Finally, just
wait. Well, yeah, I was gonna say before we get to the men's, you want to talk about agreement? I got a funny feeling that there's really not a lot to disagree about on the men's side. So, the women's and oh, by the way, if we end up with Osaka Kvitova in the final, that's going to be a funny show because Ardeal is going to be basically hedging out of his position on Kvitova, and I'm going to be hedging out of my position on Osaka. Yeah. And there's really we're not going to be able to help anyone. Everyone's going to be like, well, what's the right side? And I don't know. I don't really care. So that's going to be quite fun.
Yeah, let's see the prices in that final if it goes that way, because we are looking for value, not necessarily for a winner. Mm-hmm. We are looking
that is
for
going to be a very evenly matched final. I would expect prices right around 191 for either side.
Yes, I think so. And we will hedge both, and it will be very nice.
That's why you should have joined us from the beginning when we talked about our futures. But actually, just to round off the women's semifinals here is if somebody wanted to jump on a future right now, has the value totally gone? Is there something you'd say, hey, there's a little bit of value in this, or you guys haven't even looked at it because you're holding on to your big futures ticket? So is there anything right now for the latecomers to the futures markets?
I think there's a reasonable possibility that Pliskova is now the winner after beating Serena. I think that's possible. And if you want to use historical context as your guide, and you want to say, okay, the momentum has turned now, and this is hers to lose, and she's going to have all the confidence in the world playing out there, then it's not a terrible idea, in my opinion, to back up Pliskova future. That said, there's not an obvious value in the final because she's likely going to be going up against someone who is an extremely tough competitor, and you're going to get, it's just going to be, there's no clear path where you can really say, worst case scenario, I'll have value to hedge out of this. So it's probably better to stay away at this point.
All right. All right. And we will be back Friday as well. Friday morning, I think it's 10 a.m. Eastern time for the men's finals. I may or may not be on the show. It might be Alex hosting. I have a flight to catch on the Friday. If I have time, I may jump on, but I will definitely be watching. But Alex is probably hosting, but make sure to tune in for that one.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.